So where do you think that Donald Trump, should he be successful as a candidate, where do you think he'll be campaigning in the lead up to 2024?
Well, he better be campaigning in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, because those are the early states. And if he shows any weakness there, then he's going to have some real trouble. Now, when you go fast forward into the general election, assuming that Donald Trump is the Republican nominee, you're going to see him spending a lot of time in Georgia, a lot of time in Arizona. Annalise, your U.S. Representative, will be in Nevada a good bit. Those are the same swing states that Trump would have to win that he lost 3 years ago.
Yeah, look, it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. And then, of course, on the Democratic side of things, we've got Robert F. Kennedy Jr., his nomination. Can he at all count on his famous family for support to take on Biden, do you think?
No, he can't. And I think I feel sort of bad for him because anytime you do something like this, you want to have the support of your family. Look, Robert F. Kennedy probably doesn't have a chance to be the Democrat nominee. He's what in America we call a stalking horse. I don't know if that translates into Australian English or not. But other Democrats are looking to him as to whether or not there's any weakness for Biden. So if you're a governor of California, if you're a very popular, say, senator in Washington, D.C., and a Democrat, you don't want to be the person to sort of go after Joe Biden because he's the leader of the Democrat Party. But if Robert Kennedy starts getting 25, 30, 35% of the polling data, it will indicate a weakness that Biden has, and you'll see other Democrats get in the race. So I don't think Robert F. Kennedy has a chance to beat Joe Biden, but he might be the person who opens the door for someone else to challenge the sitting president.
What about that famous surname of his? Do you think that will translate to voters?
You know, I wish that it did, because his nephew, Joe Kennedy, is a good friend of mine. Joe ran for senator 2 years back and got famously beaten very bad. So while the name is still solid gold, there's no question about it. The days of being able to rely on just the Kennedy name. Keep in mind, that race was just in Massachusetts. You would think the Kennedy name would be huge in that state, if nowhere else. So while the name certainly gets some attention, we're talking about him in large part because his last name is Kennedy. It doesn't really translate into votes like it would have a generation ago.
Another fascinating week. Mick Mulvaney, we'll leave it there. Thank you for joining us.